They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Marshall. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's Pope, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he will have a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after here coming up. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Let's go.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go now. Blue lightning.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Toward the sideline, that's hauled in by Marshall. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. He's working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Brooklyn football as we get going in quarter number two. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce-back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Off play action. Murray. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. First target, first catch, and a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. Off the play fake. Murray. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And this is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Come on, let's go!
Throwing again. Murray looking left side, and he's got a man. That's George. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. To throw on second down. Murray firing quickly here, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And they'll go on the ground, looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Here we go.
On third down, Murray. A dump off now to Hill. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They lost 2 there, and it's third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing.
On third down, that's Harrison. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Well, that run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And now out comes Houston. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Let's go. What? 90.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Bears locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10th. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a do that? I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go. What? 90.
Throwing on first down. Murray throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
You don't want no problem. You don't want no problem with me.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
On first down, Murray got his man complete over the middle. It's Norris. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
On 1st and 10, Murray. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. From the gun, Murray. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And they'll run it here. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Harrison. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him? without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
19 on the last play, 19 more here, and another first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Gun. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So that drive goes 8 plays. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they gave up a touchdown.
They'll try and run with their fullback. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Murray. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 38.
The give to the fullback on the dive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Off-play action. Murray fighting. Lost the football. And the defense has come up with it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
All right, here we go.
So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And that's complete to Lewis. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. White, 90. White.
Throwing on 1st down. Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw again, Murray. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags.
Personal foul.
This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here.
Holding. Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38. Hey.
Operating from the gun. Murray. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup after the penalty. 12 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
A good solid gain there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, Murray fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the defense says they have it. Yes, they've got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And his kick here is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And now back out comes the offense. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock.
You know, I usually agree with you, but I'm going after them right here. I want to put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football, you've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this is going to be incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And on now is the punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
On first down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go!
Looking to throw on second down. Murray throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, Murray. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Murray now, throwing the out route incomplete. That's Norris. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't even save it for the second touchdown.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And complete to Lewis over the middle. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We'll get near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And on the ground they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression bout.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for our visitors, their good start continues as they get their record up.